Hello, Leos, and welcome to your reading for June 15th through June 30th, 2021. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for a more well-rounded reading. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. We're going to start out with the Six of Cups, and I really am feeling hit hard with that concept of reminiscing, and there's nothing wrong with this. The sense of nostalgia is something that can be a strength and empowering to build back so that whatever you know were good, strong, positive aspects of what once was, as you're building something in the future, you can take those positive elements with you. So the things that you know works, the things that you know are positive, the things that you know that are, conducive to abundance and in all aspects of life. But family is really hitting hard. Like, family is a big thing that's coming through. But whenever you are going through and building or growing or expanding, however that may apply to you, whatever it is that you're connected with, the act of being reminiscent or nostalgic can kind of empower and allow you to pull from those strengths and use them as a foundation for future growth, for future expansion. And that is what I'm connecting with this particular card. That aspect of kind of really tapping into those strengths that you want to take with you as you grow and move forward and expand, however that may be. We have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands, and there's just an overall concept of a sort of connection of knowing the right movement as you move forward. Again, the word expansion came to mind whenever I was talking about the Six of Cups, which is not necessarily a word that I tap into when I talk about family and when I talk about growth from a tangible aspect. And when I said expansion, I was actually thinking about the concepts of expanding, like someone would expand their land or their property or their kingdom or their empire. So however that resonates on a personal level, that is the sort of concept that I'm talking about when I say expansion. And so then the very next two cards that I pull are the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands. We see the concepts of emotion, and I feel like that is being that connection with family that I was talking about, that's in the Six of Cups. But emotion and its concept and connection with family, you see reminiscent in the Cups from the Knight of Cups as well as the Queen. That nurturing family aspect is what I'm getting from those two elements, from those two cards. But the Knight has to do with strategizing, and the Wands has to do with action. So there's this marriage that's happening, again, as far as expansion is concerned. So there's something that's going on in your life that's connected with your family, that's making you being reminiscent, that's empowering you to build more, to expand more. And it has to do with, it's like a personal property thing. So I don't know if you're looking into buying land, if you're looking in what you need to do to expand what your family unit has on a tangible aspect. But this is the energy that's happening at the beginning of the time period that I mentioned, June 15th through June 30th, and it's going to be available to you really hard and strong that first week. So, and I feel like this is a point of making decisions. And again, property keeps coming up in mind. Property. So, and it feels like it's more than just a house. When I say property, for whatever reason, the concept of property and actual land is coming into play. So for whatever reason, however this resonates, there's quite a few of this. When I say property, I'm actually talking about land. Although for some of you, that same sort of security that people get with having or owning property, there are some of you, that concept of security and property is defined a different way. But however that is defined for you, your key theme in all of this is expansion and what you own for the betterment of your family, and your approach is for your family, and you're trying to be strategic in what you're doing in your decision making before you act on it, but ultimately is all for your family. And a lot of it has to do with past events and moving forward from past events. So something happened that made you kind of really rethink what's most important to you. Ultimately, always family is most important. And so the strengths of what was, you're trying to carry with you as you move forward, wherever this may lead. We have the Hierophant as the next card, the Hierophant. And this has to do with guidance, but this is coming through as legal guidance. Again, this has to do with property. Inheritance just came to mind. I just heard inheritance. So something about inheriting or wanting to pass on an inheritance. Again, the concept of land, expansion, property. These are all terms that keep getting pushed to me over and over and over again. So there is some sort of someone that is in a strategic point as far as that connection, that go-between. And this really feels something along the line as, I just heard the word surveyor. So again, with the concept of property, this really, it feels like, the people that are involved when you are coming into vast amounts of property, that legal advice, that hierarchy, that point of hierarchy that you have to bring in to solidify that connection, that go-between, to solidify, to do the paperwork, whatever. That's what I'm getting from this Hierophant card. So this is something that's going to all come into play. It depends on you and who you are and where you are in life. If this is something that you are beginning or closing on, that aspect of it's contingent on you and where you are in your life. So there are some of you who are coming to this video and you're just beginning the process. Some of you are in the middle of the process, and some of you are closing on that process. It doesn't really matter where you are, because it applies no matter what, where you are. So, but yeah, this is all kind of coming together. And like I said, the Hierophant really kind of comes across, and it's kind of heavy. It really feels very heavy at the midway point, somewhere between the middle of the 2 weeks from June 15th to June 30th, regarding, like I said, that go-between, that legal, that counsel, that hierarchy position of go-between that you need for all of this to come together. We have the Lovers card. And again, this is, to me, is really reiterating that concept of family unit and the whole message. It just really kind of goes on about family connection, family property, family prosperity, family abundance, family focus, family inheritance, kind of bringing it all together. That is definitely, that's the theme. It really is the theme. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way for me to reiterate the message. I can't say it any more directly or precisely. I cannot interpret it or analyze it any other way other than just what I have spoken. So we'll go ahead and move on to the cards of rescue and leadership. And I feel like this is just something that you feel you're getting out of this. There's a sense of kind of creating a change. Like I said, whatever it is that kind of brought on the Six of Cups, this is what you're rescuing yourself from. And therefore you feel like you're also rescuing your family from future occurrence, whatever it is that happened. But also that concept of taking the leadership role, kind of taking that dominant position and just kind of moving forward. It's not something that you have to keep. It's not something you have to maintain. But at this point in life, to see all of this kind of move from this position forward, that needs to really take hold and take that point of strategy and making the decisions and making the hard calls and making sure you follow through and everything falls into place. Just being the person who's at the leadership, at the forefront, in the front lines, just making it come together. This is all part of what's going to be happening. It's all available to you should you decide to anticipate and participate in it. Oneness is my true nature, and I feel like oneness is really, again, tapping into that concept of family, the family unit, the family structure, the strength within the family, and what you see is possible, and the potential and the connection, and what family can mean. And again, property and prosperity and inheritance, it just all is interwoven together. This is all all connected, and it has to, that's what the oneness is referencing, that family unit and what it means, not just for you and your current family, whether you have one or are planning on one or beginning the process of having a family, but also descendants, future descendants, and what it means for, you know, your children, your children's children, and so on and so forth. This is all part of that oneness that this is referencing, that you're connecting into, and is inspiring you to feel what you're feeling, and feeling empowered to take that leadership and just go for it and do what it takes to make sure that you have created this expanded concept of security that you're looking for your family, for your family unit. That's the oneness. All right. That's all I have for you for this particular reading. Make sure you check out your sun, moon, and rising signs to get a more well-rounded message. And if you are looking for a personal individual reading, there are links for those in the description box below. Other than that, I hope June plans out to be a prosperous one for you, and hopefully I will see you in a future video.